same R2 attack, try and deal a couple, 2 or 3 hits of damage to him while he does a flyby, and then repeat this process. Get back in cover, wait for him to fly by and the projectiles to hit the cover, then step out and do this over and over until you defeat it.
Review time. When Demon's Souls came out on PlayStation 3 in 2009, it garnered attention and praise for its unconventional design, gradually becoming a cult hit as word of mouth spread. It was a challenging title and forced you to adapt and overcome in an era when games felt like they were holding your hand. It was a huge turning point for From Software. Since then, they've grown into one of the most respected and beloved developers around. Earlier this year, when Sony announced a remake of the PlayStation 5, fans were excited to see it was being handled by Bluepoint Games, the same studio behind the excellent 2018 remake of Shadow of the Colossus. However, regardless of the developer, the idea of remaking a classic is always a risky endeavor. Obviously, some fans may object to specific changes here and there, but Bluepoint has once again delivered a superb remake that stays. Faithful to the original. Demon's Souls for the PlayStation 5 exquisitely captures the wonder and joy of the original and serves as a fantastic showcase for Sony's new console. Bluepoint has always been known for their outstanding tech.
Introducing Domino's Carside Delivery. Just pull up, check in, and we bring the food to you. It's carry-out delivered.
Go ahead and transform your school with a specialized master's degree in education from Grantham University.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back.
You have your wits about you. Surely you understand.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Let's Play Demon's Souls. Where I left off in the last episode, I had just picked up a Ronin's Ring in Hill. Opposing viewpoints as far as magic and soul arts go. Disparity, that's a key theme to keep in. Give you a multiplicatively stacking damage boost of I think 50 or 60% when you're below 30% health. So equipping them together gives you, like I said, that bonus from each of them, and they stack multiplicatively. So it's a pretty insane damage boost, high risk, high reward, because you're always going to be so low on health. Anyway, we are done with the Shrine of Storms finally. So in the next episode, I'm probably either going to be starting up 1-3 or 3-2, the second level of the Tower of Latria. It's been a while since we visited Boletarian Palace, so I'm leaning towards 1-3. We'll see. We'll see when we get there, though. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one. everyone, welcome back to Let's Play. Oh my god, I almost did it again. Welcome back to Let's Play Demon's Souls. In the last episode, I fell off that ledge in the beginning.
Hello? Can anybody hear me?
There's bitter days ahead. Death.
Like, the most sinister sounding thing. Like, that really interesting. Latria levels. Even Saint Urbane, who teaches the heal miracle that the Temple Knight starts with, is trapped in the cutscene, so I'm not going to interrupt any dialogue. Here. And I bring that up because the description for the class reads that the Mirrodin armor, or Myrddin,
No, don't mention it. Fine.
I feel really stupid right now. I don't know what was wrong with me the last few times I did Latria in the past. It is not nearly as bad as I hyped it up to be. I think the LP actually helped because I was way more systematic than usual in searching things out. And that really helps with understanding the layout. Latria in the past. It is not nearly as bad as I hyped it up. So see you in a few. Actually, I lied. I'm not going to talk to NPCs just yet. First, I'm going to do a little bit backtracking from the start of the first level of the Tower of Latria, just to show you how to get to Sage Break once you have the key from towards the end of the level to rescue him. And I really hope I don't get lost. That'd make for a pretty shitty video walkthrough for this. So, here's how the beginning of this video is going to play out. The first 10 minutes or so are going to be NPC dialogue, backtracking from the start of 3-1 to rescue Break, like I am right now. Gonna spend some Demon Souls on some spells now that, well, once Sage Break is rescued, because he is one of the 2 advanced magic teachers. And then I'm gonna go back through 4-1, the first level of the Shrine of Storms, to show off the shortcut and where we get the Ring of Regeneration, which I skipped over way back in one of the first videos when I did that level. And then, after all that stuff is done, I will start up the first level of the Valley of Defilement. So look forward to that. I'll put a timestamp at the beginning of the video.
Tyson. Ever. They're a great decision for snack time. Letting your son's one-man band practice in your garage? Not.
There is a door in the Demon's Souls remake that did not exist in the original. It's in 1-3 at the opposite end of the courtyard and suspiciously hidden at the end of an alleyway behind an illusory wall. And it appears to be locked. And Bluepoint have done something like this before. In their Shadow of the Colossus remake, they created this locked door, which was actually a reference to a 10-year-old quest that fans had been going through in the original game to unlock a supposed secret area of the game. Except now, in the remake, that locked door could actually be opened. Collect 79 coins hidden in the enormous world, marking 79 steps to enlightenment, and the door would finally open, revealing a throne room and the sword of Dorman. So let's call this the Door of Enlightenment. If you use photo mode, you can actually get a glimpse behind it, and if you go into the adjacent alleyway and use photo mode, you can actually see right into the opposite side. For some people here, there's an item on a corpse sitting on a bench, and for others, like me, there's nothing there, which seems to indicate that there is a condition that needs to be met for this item to appear. So right now I feel like our best clue would be figuring out what gets this item to spawn, and if we can carefully figure out what that is, then maybe we can figure out how to open the door as well. There are hundreds of thousands of minds watching this video, so it's time for the 5 of you who actually own a PS5 to get to work. While so much of the Demon's Souls remake is the same as the original, there are things like this in the game that will surprise you. So subscribe, check out the new display at the end of the video, and enjoy. In Demon's Souls, there's a mechanic called World Tendency, where your actions can affect the white or black of your world, making it easier or harder, respectively. And in the original, you had to really squint at these archstones in the menu to try and figure out what level of white or black world tendency you were in. But now, in the remake, there's a brand new world tendency menu that you're also going to have to squint at to try and figure out what the world tendency is. It's not that easy here, either. But what I found curious on this page was the inclusion of the 6th Broken Archstone. It's almost as if it's positioned and ready to have its own world tendency, which also means it could be positioned and ready for DLC. Now you can argue that the original game also had the 6th Broken Archstone on it, but man, I can't help but hope. Bluepoint basically reversed the original Demon's Souls to create this game, so can you imagine what they could do if they actually partnered with From Software and issued new DLC content? Speaking of fractured things, like the Broken Archstone, you can now offer 25,000 souls to the central statue in the Nexus, and if you do this, you'll unlock 3 new quality of life options, which each require more souls to use. So the first is to request forgiveness, and this is basically absolving your sins. Tainted NPCs can go back. This actually seemed useful for me when I unintentionally programmed God in the Nexus and obliterated Volta. The second option is Fractured Mode, which, man, it makes my brain fractured, I'll tell you that. Fractured Mode flips the entire game horizontally, including your character, which really threw me for a loop, considering you still attack with R1 and block with L1. So this is supposed to be a way for the entire game to feel unique and unfamiliar for veteran players, and it does definitely achieve that. It just does so at the expense of your sanity. The third option allows you to go back to the character selection screen and amend your character's visuals, which is definitely appreciated. But this actually has gameplay implications as well, because in Demon's Souls there's some armors that you can only get male female characters, so being able to go back and change to type A or type B stops you from getting locked out from certain armors of the character. And further up in the Nexus, there's also an altar where you can check on your character profile. One of the only level changes that Bluepoint has made to the game is in 1-4, which is the final stage of the game. Unlockable from behind is a door to the tower, which then allows you to skip the run past the first section of the bridge and allows you to go straight up to the dragon's second roost instead, by which point you're actually so far ahead that you can just run right past him. I had to look this up to remember if this shortcut actually existed in the original, and the funny thing is, when you do, you're hit with these 10-year-old posts from people saying, "No shortcut in 1-4? Really?" It's pretty funny to think that these people finally got their wish, or maybe they became a Bluepoint developer and finally made their dream a reality. So here's what you got if you pre-ordered the game. The Reaper's Scythe, a fancy weapon with a polearm moveset, and if you bought the Digital Deluxe Edition for $20 extra, you would have also received the Ritual Blade, which has a Great Axe moveset, and the Hoplite Shield, which is a sort of large shield, along with 2 unique armor sets, a ring that increases item discovery, another that increases your health, and a handful of consumables. The armor and the weapons appear to be true exclusives, and the weapons seem pretty powerful. The Ritual Blade especially is unique because it's a Great Axe class weapon that only requires 12 strength, which is a piddly amount compared to the minimums of its counterparts. And no, you can't drop these items online for other players, if you were wondering. But here's the thing. These weapons can't be upgraded either. They're forever stuck at +0, which means they're not actually viable beyond the early game. They will never really give you an advantage in PvP. I guess this was Bluepoint's solution to Backlash, that we see if these ended up being a distinct PvP advantage, people that paid more money. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad that it's like this, but it still doesn't solve the entire problem. You still don't get access to everything in the game unless you pre-order the digital edition, and the new armors are still unique and nice, and you'll never get those. But Whatever, at least there were unique items still added to the game outside of the Digital Deluxe Edition. For example, there's the Blue Eye Knight set. There's the official set. Now the dressed Furia, and not just the hat like in the original. There's the Sodden Ring, which allows you to move more easily. Swamp. There's the gold coin, a rare drop from the officials, and it improves your luck. And there's also the Ring of Uneven Scales, which you get from trading the gold coins snugly. This raises your maximum item burden, but lowers the maximum equipment burden, which seems like it's the wrong way around, because why would I need more item burden when I can just send my items to Stockpile Thomas? But it's not only the gold coin that's snugly sent out, you also affect your rune shield for a $20 hoplite shield and your rune sword for arrows. Plenty of divulges to trade with Gravestone, from the game, the Ring of Longevity, the Ring, which raises your maximum health. There's other trades here that are yet to be discovered, and with more items, it comes more lore, and it's nothing groundbreaking, nor shocking that it can. It is to the system. Now, the Hoplite shield, for example, is described as a medium-sized metal shield designed for the Molotarian Legions. The Legion's protective formation was renowned across the kingdom. The Blue Eye Knight armor was supposedly made with hardened iron from Stonefang and emblazoned with the image of the sun as proof of their commission from the king. The ritual blade mentioned the ancient tribe of the Shrine of Storms, and the sense of the bad officials is that it served to the resentful masses. Also interesting are the new stage names, which actually didn't exist in the original, and there are also new translations in the game that had an opportunity to fix some of the bad translations from the original, but we'll get to that in another video. You can also warp to stages that you haven't completed yet with a press of the PS5 button, which is actually pretty useful sometimes if you're not near an archstone. You will have to give up all your warp to stages that you haven't completed yet with a press of the PS5 button, which is actually pretty useful sometimes if you're not near an archstone. You will have to give up all your souls to do this, but often you don't care about it. When you are at an archstone, though, you can actually warp to different worlds with your controller triggers now. In the original, you had to go back to the Nexus, so this is good. And while you're in the PS5 menu, you should definitely browse the trophy list, which actually includes some really fun ones this time around. For example, vanquish the Tower Knight without killing any archers, vanquish Maiden Astraya without killing Garl Vinland, vanquish Adjudicator without having him fall over, vanquish the Fool's Idol without hitting any clones, that's a great one, cross the walkway through the idol's volley of arrows, vanquish Penetrator with Bjorn, and vanquish the Dragon God with the Hands of God, which I love because this weapon was said to belong to an ancient hero who slaughtered dragons with his bare hand. So these are excellent additions to the game because they encourage you to play in different ways. That's something we've kind of lost ever since From Software stopped adding tail weapons to their games. So I would love to see more things like this in the future. It's great for replayability. In your options menu, you have a great tips page, information, with the animations also used when you browse a spell list at certain vendors, allowing you to preview what you're about to invest in. And if you ever need to take a breather while playing, the options menu doesn't pause the game, but the photo mode does. Just be aware that it doesn't pause the game if you're playing online. But it does turn the camera into a sort of free cam instead, which, you know, is a really great way to observe your summons while they do the game with you. And for all intents and purposes, healing remains the same. Except instead of being able to have 99 of each grass like in the original, there's now a limit on each type of grass instead. I guess this is good, but the limits aren't really severe enough to stop you from chowing down on grass to get past a difficult section. There's items that you need to skip to quickly. Put the first option on the quick bar, and you'll be able to hold down on the D-pad to skip to it instantly. This is a quality of life change added to the other Souls games, and it's a welcome one here as well. They've also added in omnidirectional rolling while locked on, which is kind of one of those things that you would have really felt if they decided to keep the original. The difference. That super modern, minimalist look is kind of jarring at first, but it didn't grow on me throughout my playthrough. Or I guess a better way of saying it is, I forgot about it during my playthrough, because the visuals in this game are so overwhelmingly incredible that you don't really want the UI to be obtrusive or even have an interesting design at all. So I felt like it got out of the way where it belonged. Your opinion might differ though. So in the original Demon's Souls, a hilarious icon would appear when you put on the cat ring. This is it. literally a cat. Maybe it was a placeholder icon that accidentally stayed in the game for the full release, who knows. It became a bit of a meme, and in the Demon's Souls remake, a lot of people went to get the cat ring, only to discover that our cat was nowhere to be found. But in the credits screen, after you finish the game, in the screen that shows an area from the tutorial, there's our missing boy, on a flyer, pinned to a tree. Have you seen this cat? We miss him. Another huge change in the remake are the music scores for each boss, which have been reimagined by Bill Hemsterpath and his team, with special attention to preserving the mood and intent of the original game. Kida-san, the game's original composer, has actually given her approval of the revived soundtrack on Twitter, and that is some high praise coming from her, because I feel like Kida-san's original score it contributes enormously to the atmosphere in Demon's Souls, which I maintain personally is the best atmosphere in any game that From Software has ever made. One thing I think we can all appreciate about the remake tracks was how they're interwoven into the cinematics and the gameplay. Listen to this clip from the Maiden Astraea fight. I'll probably give my full thoughts on the music in another video when I've taken the time to carefully listen to all of the tracks, but I will say while playing I did like what I heard. Yes, some of them have a different tone, but you know, just because it's different doesn't mean it's bad, and I enjoyed thinking about what this change in tone meant for the lore of the fight that I was experiencing. They've even gone back and got a lot of the original voice actors, and they've re-recorded all the voice lines, and some of them actually have a bit of extra dialogue as well. Listen to this bit. And to match all of the effort that must have gone into getting these animations are incredible facial animations as well, which kind of look best in class, and they express real emotion here. There's one character in particular whose new animations are amazing and cursed. Patches. So much of this game is preserved from the original Demon's Souls, but they did update all of the attack animations, and they managed to do this while preserving the cadence of the original attacks. But without a doubt, the best new animations added to the game are the critical hits. God damn. Bluepoint knocked it out of the park with these. There are unique ones for one-handed and two-handed backstabs, and also you get a unique animation if you manage to pull off a parry with a two-handed weapon as well, meaning each weapon class has 4 different critical hit animations, and